Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And from recession to depression, man, this has taken off. And we finally have a good warning. And I have to give this person credit, and I'm going to explain who they are in a second. But they explain why this is bad. And I thought, okay, this is really good. So please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And today we have a sponsor, Patriot Gold. And I will talk about them in a bit. Mark Cuban, friend of the show. Met him out here in Laguna Beach twice. Okay? Calls me Danny. Anyways, Mark is not a friend. Oh, yeah, Mark and I are like this, guys. Anyways, Mark Cuban issued a warning about the state of the economy, and this is the best one. And I was driving here this morning talking about Peter Schiff and Robert Kiyosaki and all these different people that issue warnings. But for the first time, there's somebody, whether you like the guy or not, Shark Tank fan. Well, he's done with Shark Tank. He quit Shark Tank, by the way. But Mark Cuban issued a warning to explain that this is going to be recessionary. Everything that's happening right now and all these massive layoffs are going to take a toll. And I thought, okay, as I'm reading this, I'm like, wow, this is a really simple, good explanation. And he said, let's just use the government layoffs right now. Here's the thing about this. Most people, about 70% of us, live from paycheck to paycheck. We are broke. We do not have any extra money every month. At the end of the month, we're just getting by, pay all our bills. Now, lose your job. What are you going to do? Well, you're going to immediately cut back. And by cutting back, you're going to not buy certain things. What can we do in our household that we can get rid of? Well, you have to eat. So you're going to spend less money. You're definitely going to not go out to dinner. You're definitely going to not travel anytime soon. You're going to drive your car as little as possible. All these things have a monetary impact on the economy right now. Now, when you go to the store and you purchase things that are less expensive, that takes a toll. You try to cut your energy costs, you try to cut your fuel costs, you try to live a less, less expensive and less, you know, consumer-driven life. And it's funny. I went to Las Vegas for a couple days to go to that slap competition for UFC, which was wild to see, to say the least. But Las Vegas was dead, guys. Was not busy, not a lot of people there. But what Mark is talking about is that these people that lose their jobs are in huge, huge trouble. And the huge trouble comes from them not spending money and not contributing to the economy, which is a great way to put it. This is the impact. This will drive us to a recession. Now, I think we're in a recession, guys. I think that this is recessionary times right now, and you can blame Doge and you can blame all the cutbacks and everything. But man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I'm doing an expose right now on real estate, and I will share that in the next video. But I'm telling you, there's some stuff going on right now that is absolutely unbelievable. But when you lose your job, most of us have gotten fired before, and how you recoil and you don't spend money, which is what you're supposed to do. Now, the problem with this is you tell people this in the first place. This is how you should live every day. It shouldn't be because you just lost your job. You should live, a frugal lifestyle. Phew. Listen to you, Mr. YouTube. You know what I mean? It's how you should live. It's how I live. I have friends that my favorite line is, well, you can afford it, just do it. No, I don't live that way. Just because I go to France tomorrow, I don't want to. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't spend the money like that. So this is going to have major impacts on businesses, on dry cleaners, on small mom and pop, car places, everything. And that is, I'm telling you this right now, it is having an impact already, and the threat of layoffs is having an impact. This is stunning out here. This is an area that's normally covered in sand. And when the tide changes and you get more waves, this gets exposed. Isn't that cool? I'm telling you guys, I filmed dozens of videos walking on this beach, completely covered in sand. This time of the year, it's like it's the moon or something. So, again, Mark Cuban, multi-billionaire, doesn't need to worry about stuff like this. but it's fascinating to look at this. Read that article below because he really did a good job. And it wasn't just the Robert Kiyosaki, oh, it's going to be a crash like none other. It is. It is going to be a crash like none other. You saw what the stock market did yesterday. I have zero faith that this is going to be fixed. None. I have zero faith that the tariffs are not going to slow down. But two things, and I want to remind you guys, Best Buy's a liar, a den of liars, talking about how the tariffs have made a major impact on their money. Costco, same thing. Costco says that the tariffs have made a difference on their profits right now. How is that possible when they just started a week ago, but last quarter you guys were off? I mean, are we stupid? I mean, again, Costco's doing this to themselves right now. But everybody cuts back. The problem with it is that when you have so much of the piece of pie and you decide what you're going to cut out of it as a family, it's very difficult. Now, being a single man, I can do whatever the hell I want. And it's great. It's a great thing to be able to sit there and go, oh, I want to go to dinner tonight. Now I'm going to cook a steak. Now I'm going to eat a salad. I mean, it doesn't make a bit of difference, but I don't have the financial cutbacks that other people do. This affects everybody, though. Every single financial decision of these people, we talked about it. There's 172,017 people as of last week's video that were laid off already this year. Hello. Well, that's 172,000 families that are going to make different changes. So read the Mark Cuban articles. I thought it was really good, and I thought just the simplicity of how he described it made a big difference. Let me know what you think about that. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. Well, the stock market sell-off has clearly begun. But one thing that is crystal clear is it is amazing how gold and silver have been holding their own right now. What you need to do is call #1 rated Patriot Gold Group today, 888-330-1431. Get a free investor guide. Have them answer all your questions. You know what? You don't get to be #1 rated with Consumer Affairs without doing something very good for 9 years in a row. Contact them today. So many experts, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, have all predicted that gold is easily going to hit $3,500 an ounce. You don't want to miss out on this. Some experts have said that silver could go as high as $150 an ounce. Again, why would you miss this opportunity? Contact them today. Protect yourself. Over the course of history, gold and silver has always been a hedge against a down economy. Check them out today. Contact #1 rated Patriot Gold Group today, 888-330-1431. Let them know that Dan from iAllegedly sent you. Have them answer all your questions. Contact Patriot Gold Group right away. One thing that's wild is having basically a base here in the United States. I get a lot of news sent to me from out of the country. And I got 2 stories sent to me from out of the country about the Eaton fires that happened. That's the area right next to Pasadena, right above where my daughter lives. And Bruce and Nancy Steele were beekeepers. I said were because they lost their bee business in the Eaton fire. 35 years as beekeepers, hundreds of thousands of bees and all their honey inventory, thousands of pounds of honey. Isn't that wild? Isn't that terrible? But again, how do you make up for that? How do you ensure that? Is it insured? So there's a great story below talking about that. But I feel for these people, man, because I mean, what's honey sell for? How much money do you make selling honey, doing what you like to do? Now, every beekeeper I've ever met, and these people were kind of big as far as in that business, they all had a love for, animals, animal life, for nature, for making sure that things were, moving along because, let's face it, you've got an issue when it comes to honey around the world. It's a lot of fake honey. My buddy Mike Adams, I mean, you talk to him about honey and there's just crap out of China that's sugar water that's got different polymers added to it and all the shenanigans that makes it thicker. So it's like honey, but it's not real honey. My late girlfriend, who was a law professor, helped get a Man who worked for um, Homeland Security. He was on honey duty. Think about this. This guy would go down to the port and he would inspect honey to make sure if it was real or fake that was brought into the United States, because they would bring tens of thousands of pounds of fake honey here. And then you get people there that are doing it naturally, organically, safely, no pesticides, no shenanigans, and they lose everything. Isn't that terrible? I mean, that I feel for. Now, there's another flip side of this. We've all heard of Lloyd's of London is insuring this. Well, here's the thing. Does a lot of independent, a lot of weird insurance for people. So Lloyd's of London, with those fires, they lost $2.3 billion in claims already. And they were like, hey, really grateful that it wasn't more, because the majority of people that had Lloyd's of London's insurance pulled paintings out of the houses and fled. So they're Picassos and they're Rembrandts and different things of value that, those are the only two names I know. So pulling that out of thin air. But read the story below, because, they were giddy. Oh my gosh, we got a flight, $2.3 billion in damages and claims we have to pay. Now, here's the thing. My father played golf with a man who, trying to not trip and fall on this slick moss as I'm walking on it. My father played golf with a man when he was alive, and the man was an investor at Lloyd's of London, and the guy every year would get, his residual payment, and it would be, oh yeah, gosh, I got $1.8 million this year. I got 2.2, and you got all this shenanigans. The guy would get all these huge payments every year as a residual check for there not being claims. One year, they showed up at the guy's house to look for the money. We've had so many claims with all the hurricanes and all the tornadoes and all these damages, and I want to say it was Exxon Valdez. It was something like some major catastrophe like that they insured, that they wanted over $2 million from this guy. Oh, hi, so you're not returning our phone calls. And needless to say, yeah, I didn't know what you guys wanted. I thought it was a sales call. So I almost fell. Anyways, isn't that wild, guys? So, when it's sunshiny, you get a check. When it's raining, you got to write a check. So let me know what you think about this. But again, this is really beautiful that you can see this like this, because I'm telling you guys, this is covered in sand all the time. This area is open. You can walk up here normally, but when the tide changes, this gets exposed. So, still, I think it's crazy that people surf out there and swim out there, because that's what's out there. Okay? So let me know what you think about this so far. Did you know that about Lloyd's of London? Am I giving you something new? But I feel for anybody who's out of business right now. It's so difficult to sell anything right now. You have to be better than. You've got to offer better value. You have to be a reason for us to come deal with you. And it's funny. I was on that cruise ship a couple weeks ago, and normally they follow up. Normally they do really nice customer service. And this time they didn't do anything. And I was upset. And sure enough, they had my phone number wrong. So we tried calling you, and I've only done this a few times. But again, you want to, I'm sitting there thinking, well, I'll never go there again. I'll never do business with these people. They don't appreciate the business. They're not going to thank me and stuff. I could go on for an hour about that. But you know what I mean? You have to offer value. You have to offer a fair price. And not everybody's just going to piss money away anymore. They're not going to do that. And as people lose their jobs, I'm telling you guys, if you're one of the people that loses their job, your full-time job is looking for a job. Remember that. And you can deal with the recruiters. I heard recently another person inside of a coffee shop. Yeah, I sent my resume out to 5 people today, sitting there drinking coffee, playing video games at Starbucks. And that's not going to do it, guys. Do something different. Run your business different. Well, another retail bankruptcy is going to happen, and I can officially say I've never spent a dime in one of these stores. Benetton. 415 stores down for the count, and there may be more, but that's, guys, unbelievable. Okay? Unbelievable. We were talking about insurance earlier, and they started interviewing people that have State Farm insurance here in California dealing with the fires. And the quote is, they're being stingy. Guys, I'm telling you, do not deal with an insurance company on your own with something that big. If you have an asset, think about this. These people had $4 million to $20 million assets, and you're going to write a strong letter and you're going to deal with them. My husband's a great negotiator. You're kidding yourself. Get a lawyer, a lawyer. You know, you made all that money. You got to have a lawyer friend. You got to have somebody that can help you with this stuff, because State Farm's being stingy because they're notorious right now for not paying anybody, and they don't want to pay you. Picasso, you know, what's that? It's that worth, okay? Ask Lloyd's of London, okay? They don't want to pay on these claims. That's what they want to do. It is not going to get better, and it's not like, hey, Progressive is so much better. They just write checks. Nobody's doing that now, guys. No one's doing that right now. One thing that I got a kick out of, two figures that started in the UK, and the first one is, how many retail thefts a day would be a lot? 500, 1,000? What do you think? That'd be a lot of people ripping stuff off. Well, the UK right now has 17,000 shoplifting thefts a day right now. And again, they don't carry guns with the police, so I'm sure that they're issuing a stern reprimand. You know, I mean, come on, guys. 17,000 retail thefts a day. How do you combat that? I know how you combat it. You know, you put a guard at the front of your store that's armed. Oh my God, that is so terrible. Yeah, it is. Now, the other story out of the UK, and this matches, this is almost identical figures within a percentage point. How many people, they started interviewing people about their finances, and we talked a little bit about it last week, about people that are retirement age and their regrets. Well, in the UK, how many people 40 and above, when they interviewed well over 2,000 people, thought they were going to have to continue to work? 35% said they're going to have to continue to work until 70, or until I just run out of gas. So guys, that's unbelievable. Retirement, the Social Security is not going to benefit me. It's not going to be enough money. That guy just fell. So again, people didn't save. You get the pensions and those different payments that you get in the UK, but they're not that much money, guys. You need to have more money. They're saying that the average person needs 3,000 pounds a month. And when I say that, is that what it costs to live in the UK, is 3,000 pounds a month? You know, it's like 3,500 bucks a month. I don't think it's enough money, guys, myself. So let me know what you think so far. I'm going to finish this video with this final story, and I guarantee they're never going to be a sponsor on this channel. Roden Glover is the managing director at Jaguar, whatever. That cat pronounced it correctly. Anyways, at Jaguar, they have a brand new car, and they say, listen, we're going to change our customer base. 85% of our existing customers that love our cars are never going to buy this car because it's an electric Jaguar. It's sleek, it's beautiful, and it's not for everybody. I'm talking about pissing off your customer base. Roden, you're the man, okay? So, absolutely stupid, but I guarantee you they will be giving, shenanigans away to sell these cars soon. They're going to be well over $100,000, pounds, euros, whatever you want to call it. It's going to cost you over $100,000 of anything to buy one of those cars. And the one thing that I love about Jaguar owners is they've told me how they get in such great shape because they walk so much, because the car is in the shop most of the time. So that's going to change, I guess, with this new electric car. That's going to get, a couple hundred miles to a charge, and you're going to go charge it. I'm telling you, will somebody get it? Of course they'll buy it. But will it be the big seller and it's going to overcome everything else? No way. No. Okay? So let me know what you think, and save this video for the future, because if it sells like no other electric car, then Dan will be wrong for the 18th time. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. You want to get a hold of me, it's hello@iallegedly.com. Isn't this beautiful? It's post-apocalyptic out here. It looks like the end of days. So let me know what you think about all this.